Hi, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Happy Sunday and happy full moon in Gemini. Today, I wanted to come on with a video to talk about the full moon energy that we are experiencing, how you might be feeling and interpreting that energy. And also, I really wanted to channel into some information on how we can start working with this incredibly potent full moon energy to manifest into the year of 2025, which even me mentioning that is a little bit ironic because as I was meditating and sensing into the full moon energy, a message that keeps coming through so strongly. I literally even circled the word now on the page because the message that kept coming up is to stay focused in the now moment, and that we can only really create through the now. We can't create through a past lens. We can't create futuristically. Yes, this energy is extremely powerful, but the thing about its power is that it really can only be accessed through the portal of the now moment. It can't be displaced. It can't be projected forward into the future. I'm hearing it can't really be saved up and used later on. It has to be moved with in the now, meaning as you're feeling inspired by it without overthinking it. Now, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself with some of the messages here. Sorry about that. I don't know if you heard that, but I heard this kind of loud sound that I think was actually coming from outside, but somehow it was echoing inside or being picked up by the microphone because the microphone is sensitive, which I'm saying that because I'm now feeling like this is some kind of a metaphor that some kind of external noise may at times feel as though it's being picked up by you or affecting you because you, like that microphone, are very sensitive. You're very capable of picking up on and reading these kinds of energies. So you might be picking up on something happening externally that feels as though it's reverberating internally or affecting your internal frequency. And this makes sense because another message coming through so strongly as I was channeling into the full moon energy is that a strong message of guidance is to find time to really disconnect from external distractions, whether this is electronic distractions, maybe it's people in your relationships trying to communicate with you, trying to connect with you, finding some quiet, clear, non-distractive, creative space feels incredibly important at this time, especially considering there is so much of this really potent energy flowing through that we're going to be able to work with. And again, I feel this is related to, I'm hearing this is setting the tone for what manifesting in 2025 is going to look like. And the words stop and go are coming out. So at times this might feel kind of like a stop and go energy where you're beginning to want to move very fast or things feel as though they're moving really fast. And then they seem to stop all of a sudden. And there's this void or this pause, which my guides are saying is actually a deep activation. So there's so much coming through here. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards and get into some channeled messages. And I'm also going to be incorporating some of the downloaded messages that were coming through prior to this reading, which I don't always sit and actually really get into that meditative space to receive messages in advance of a reading video. Oftentimes I will maybe meditate, clear my mind, and then go right into recording and kind of allow the downloads to come through entirely during that or that recorded space rather than that space before the recording, if that makes sense. But for some reason today, I was feeling really guided to get out a notebook and to really sense into what I'm picking up on in the collective energy around this full moon and to write down a lot of that as it was coming through. So maybe somehow this relates to some way in which you've been feeling inspired recently. Maybe you've felt this desire to kind of go within yourself and pull forth this creative information and then write it down or journal it or somehow put it in a concrete form. And this might relate to what we were talking about in finding that clear creative space where you're capable of doing that, capable of accessing that energy. I'm hearing thinking around it. So it's almost like I keep getting this visualization that this energy we have access to, not just during this full moon, although I feel, again, this full moon is kind of opening this portal of energy that's going to stay open in this format through 2025, meaning how we're experiencing this energy now is very likely a precursor to a lot of how we're going to be experiencing this energy through the year of 2025. So I keep getting the sense it's almost like this really powerful kind of point of creative power where it's kind of difficult to even describe what I'm visualizing here, but it's almost like we have access to like this deep reservoir of inspiration, creativity, new ideas that is beginning to open up to us. And most likely you've been starting to get a sense of that, to feel that. However, the complication here is that when the mind senses that there is this really powerful energy that we have access to, it's almost like the mind gets overexcited and then tries to just sit with that energy and wrangle it in a sense, categorize it, grasp it consciously, plan with it, strategize with it. But the thing is, this energy seems to actually really resist being thought through at the conscious level. One thing that I wrote down in advance is we are meant to be allowing this energy to move us automatically into action without getting the mind too involved in that process. But again, the mind automatically wants to do this. It wants to jump in and say, whoa, I'm feeling this powerful energy. Let's start planning with it. Let's start thinking into the future with it. Let's start setting a bunch of goals and timetables and timelines and deadlines. But whenever we go to do that with this particular kind of energy, this brand of energy, we are actually going to find it almost like slipping through our fingers, like we're trying to grab a hold of sands, and then we begin to feel this stifling of the energy, this restriction that you might even feel physically in your body, where you begin to feel really tense, where you begin to feel very mentally kind of out of sorts, chaotic, energetically drained. That's what you will find happening when you try to take this energy and over-intellectualize it in a sense, because what I'm getting is that this energy works in a way where it activates us in the stop and go energy. That's what the conscious mind would label as a stop, where we feel like things kind of halt in our lives, and yet we feel like something really powerful is taking place within us. Those are those activation moments. And then the go energy is when we actually begin to feel ourselves accessing that portal of energy, when we feel inspired or creative or energized or wanting to move into action. And again, the hinge point here, the key coming through so strongly is when you reach that point of feeling recharged, feeling energized, feeling inspired, allowing it to naturally move you into action in the present moment, into that place of creating, again, maybe even applying that other principle we were talking about in creating without distraction, disconnecting yourself from distractions, creating that space where you can really allow your heart to open up, free of any external distractions. So again, it can only really be utilized through the now. And that is what keeps getting re-emphasized over and over again. So the kind of catchphrase of this full moon, if you will, and I might even put this in the title of the video, is less thinking, more creating, but specifically creating in that space where the mind isn't controlling it, where the heart is leading it, and the energy is naturally unfolding it and moving it forward. So I know it's about 10 minutes into the video and we haven't pulled a card yet, but I am going to go ahead and pull a few traditional tarot cards here just to see what else I can pick up on your energy, anything else you might need to know at this time. There are still a lot of thoughts that came through in advance, so I'll most likely be weaving those journaled ideas into whatever comes out in the tarot. But also, I know we kind of jumped right into the readings, so I didn't get a chance to do introductions. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. If you do resonate with my energy and with this space here, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. Okay, so right away we have the Queen of Cups reversed, the Page of Cups in the upright position. Okay, so I'm picking up on someone here who's been in this Queen of Cups reversed energy, burnt out from over self-sacrificing is what I'm getting from this person, that someone has been nurturing and giving so much to others that they've forgotten to give to themselves, or they haven't for a while. So this person has almost been in this state of recharge that's been very necessary for them. Not just physically, not just energetically, although that's part of why it's been necessary as well, but also on a deeper core soul level. I'm hearing this has been a time of rest, recharge, rejuvenation for this person, for whoever I'm speaking to here, which, by the way, I usually say this at the beginning, but I do pick up on many different people and threads of energy, so only take from these readings what really resonates with you on a personal level. Okay, so whoever this person is, the words burnt out keep coming out. Like there was this period of burnout, this deep spiritual need for a period of time that would be this recharge where there would be a great deal of self-focus, self-nurturing, but a bit of feeling closed off towards the world or closed off physically towards others. But I feel as though whoever I'm speaking to here with the Page of Cups, something has come along with a very soft, warm, open energy. This could be a person, this could be an idea, this could be a new group of friends. I feel like this is something that's kind of gently asking you to reconnect in some way or to share yourself in some way that you may not have been during this time, this, again, very necessary time of recharging yourself from some form of burnout. The thing about this energy I just keep picking up is that it's very soft and very gentle. It's not forceful at all. It's very, I'm hearing it's very easy to fall into, meaning it's almost like there is this natural pull that you feel towards this person, this thing, this opportunity, this next phase. But there's also this uncertainty because, again, you're moving out of a phase where you were healing from, I'm hearing possibly even being taken advantage of for your kindness or your nurturing. And this is something that wants to reconnect with you in that way, meaning it wants to have some kind of mutual bond with you of mutual care, mutual nurturing. But there is almost this triggered fear coming up because of past experiences where you were taken advantage of for your nurturing energy or for your kindness. But this seems to be a very clear, positive kind of thing, whether it's a person or an opportunity. It doesn't seem to really want anything out of you except some form of connection or bond with you. It's like it wants to have something very reciprocated and balanced with you, a connection with you, but it doesn't want to take from you. And your soul seems to really sense that, which is why when your mind kind of gets out of the equation, you can feel this natural sense of safety and comfort and joy with this person or thing. But now this is bringing me back to something that came out when I was channeling for this reading, which is just the word trust in all caps. So maybe this person, thing, or opportunity is kind of asking you to trust it, asking you to lean into it. But the message that I got earlier was trust allows you to move forward with confidence when you don't know the way. But it's interesting because I was asking my guides about this and they had me highlight the word know. So it's like you don't know the way consciously, but you do feel the way, you sense the way. It's not really like you're walking in the dark, although your mind might feel that way because you can sense something at a soul level that's guiding you towards it, that's pulling you into it, that's naturally unfolding. And so again, that word trust is just coming out all bold, all capital letters here. So what else can I channel about this person, thing, or opportunity represented by the Page of Cups? Okay, so moving towards this seems to possibly require you to release some dynamic of guilt or some old pattern of guilt. This may not even be guilt within you. This could be something that you're clearing ancestrally for your family's line. This might be guilt around receiving love, receiving support, receiving kindness, allowing yourself to follow some sort of dream. This also could be, if this is a new connection, this could be releasing guilt from some past connection or thing that may have left you, or when you were in the situation, you may have felt very imprisoned with freedom in the reverse position. Moving forward without guilt and without fear of being loved, somehow revoking your freedom. Wow, that felt like a powerful message for someone. So maybe there's someone here who has been so afraid of being locked into something or being tied down by something, whether it's a job, a place, a person, a friend group. So prioritizing that sense of freedom, which of course is one of your core values and is so important, but there's this sense of actually, I'm hearing limiting your ability to be loved and supported in the way that you really deserve because of a fear of not being free. And here we have the Empress. So I'm seeing you can still embody both that freedom, that openness, that flexibility, that creativity, that power, that even independence, while at the same time being loved and supported and cared for by others, or being grounded into certain ideas, places, things that actually really sustain that energy of freedom and independence rather than limiting it. This is a really beautiful, but also a complex energy. So I imagine that this will be emerging in future reading videos. If this message has been resonating with you, I really recommend checking out my full moon energy clearing Subliminal, especially if you're listening to this within 3 days prior to the full moon or 3 days after the full moon. Typically, that window is when these energies affect us around these lunations the most strongly. This full moon that we're working with, again, it really sets the tone, the precursor for everything coming in 2025. So if you actively tap into and utilize this energy to create forward in the now, as we've been channeling here, your creations can hold a kind of potency, magnetism, and power because of this unique transit that we're experiencing right now collectively. And the Subliminal I've created will help you easily access and work with that full moon energy by clearing any subconscious blockages you may have, preventing you from accessing it, and also just helping you to align with that creative flow state around this full moon more completely while remaining grounded, which is so essential. This subliminal will help you stay grounded as we are experiencing a lot of energetic intensity. And of course, you are so sensitive to those energies as we've been channeling here. So subliminals are audio meditations that work with the subconscious mind, which is so powerful because research shows it's our subconscious that controls 95% of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes in life. So when we shift what's happening in the subconscious, we can actually begin to manifest very, very quickly, because this is like the back door of the mind, the fast track to manifesting in a sense. I started using subliminals several years ago and started seeing more powerful results from them than any other manifestation technique I had tried. So I've become so passionate about them, and I'm now so excited to be sharing my own library of subliminals that I'm adding to all the time in my app, Sound and Soulful. In this app, I have over 130 subliminals for every area of life, for love, money, career, mindset, energy clearing, relationships, and so many other things. There's so much to explore in the app. And when you sign up, you can create your own custom private playlists. You can listen overnight while you are sleeping, and you can even read the affirmations while you are listening. So the link to download the app and get started is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. And again, the subliminal I most recommend here, if you're listening around the full moon, is my full moon energy clearing. This will really help you feel grounded, stabilized, and tap into the powerful magic around this full moon. Again, all of the information on that is under the video. I really hope you enjoyed everything that we were channeling here today. Thank you for co-creating along with me in this video. I would love to hear from you in the comments if anything resonated with you personally. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And of course, I would love for you to subscribe to me here if you'd like to get future channeled messages, updates, etc. in future videos. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. Take care. Have a wonderful full moon in Gemini, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.